Shalom, everyone. Who told you that you were in charge? Surrendering control. The illusion of control and why releasing it is not weakness, but the deepest act of faith. Today is day 12 of the Omer. Israel's deepest complaint about the wilderness was never really about the food. It was about control. In Egypt, as brutal as it was, they at least knew what tomorrow looked like. Same bricks, same quota, same misery, but a predictable misery, a scheduled misery, a misery they could mentally prepare for. The wilderness took all that away. No plan, no timetable, no map, just a cloud by day and a fire by night. And a God who would not explain himself in advance. And that terrified them far more than Pharaoh's whip ever did. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, the plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Psalms 31 verse 15. My times are in your hands. The Bible teaches that God's redemption comes in its time, meaning on God's timetable, not ours. Every day of Israel's wilderness wandering was precisely calibrated. Not one day was wasted, not one was random, not one was a mistake. What looks like delay from where we are standing is precision from where God is standing. The wilderness is not God losing track of time. It is God keeping perfect time. Let's hold up the mirror. What are you white-knuckling right now? What situation, relationship, decision, or outcome are you gripping so tightly that your hands have no room left to receive anything new? Here is the honest definition of control. It is fear with a plan attached to it. And the more spiritual the person, the more sophisticated the plan. And the harder it is to call it what it actually is. Control dressed in prayer language is still control. Planning every contingency while telling God you trust him is still you on the throne. The wilderness is not cruel. It is kind. It removes the illusion so you can finally stand on something real. So let's name the grip. Write down in your journal one situation you are most anxious to control right now. Be ruthlessly specific. Not my future, but the actual thing keeping you awake at night. Vague surrenders produce vague peace. Specific surrender produces specific freedom. Sit with your hands physically open and face up on your lap. Place the situation before God out loudly, not silently, with open hands and say, this is yours. I have been holding it as though it were mine to fix, mine to manage, mine to control. I give it back to you right now. Your body needs to feel the decision, not just your mind. Identify one action you have been avoiding because it requires trusting God with the outcome, and take it today. Make the call. Send the message, take the step. Certainty is not going to arrive before you move. It arrives after. That is what makes it faith and not calculation. You were never in charge, and that is actually the most freeing thing you will ever hear today. Open your hands and let it go. We are 38 days to Pentecost. See you tomorrow.